Hey everyone, I'm here at the plot today and I am going to finally plant my warm season seedlings. I have my tomatoes in here, some peppers, some eggplants, and a few flowers and herbs that I'm going to winter plant with them. I'm going to start with the peppers first, right here in this bed. If you guys have watched the previous videos, you know that I already amended some of these beds in here. I have added compost and azomite, which is rock dust that actually helps to put minerals back into the soil. But today I'm still going to use some extra amendments. So I'm also going to add some bone meal to the soil and some organic all-purpose fertilizer. This is a slow release fertilizer and I'm going to add them to the holes. So I have my peppers that I have started from seed here. I have a few different varieties. So I have some jalapenos, some togarashi pepper, which is a Japanese pepper that I have never grown before and I'm excited to grow this year. And I also have some pimento peppers in here, and I really wanted to plant some poblanos, but these guys germinated a lot later than these, so even though I started them at the same time, same day, these guys look a lot bigger, and I have already up-potted them. But I'm still going to plant them all together instead of up-potting them and waiting for them to get bigger. Just going to take a chance and see how they will do. I'm also going to cage these peppers in tomato cages, but first, let's get it all planted and I'll show you how I do that after. First, I'm gonna do the spacing with the peppers. Let me do this togarashi back here because it's looking really big. I'm going to just lay them on top of the soil so I have a little bit of a idea of the space. I want to plant this pepper is about a foot apart, 12 inches. A lot of people say that you can plant peppers a little closer together, but I think this year I want to try to keep them a little farther apart because I haven't had luck with my peppers getting very big before. So let me do the first one here. I have kind of clay soil in here, as you can see. It's a little hard sometimes, so this is very helpful to dig. It's better than my other shovel I was using in the past. So I have the planting hole. Peppers don't need to be planted super deep like tomatoes, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute after I plant this. But I'm going to add the amendments to the hole now. I guess I'm just going to plant the first pepper and show you, and then I will do the spacing. I just wanted to get it going. But a little bit of bone meal. This one is brand new. I have just bought for this because I ran out of my other one. I'm gonna now add this organic garden tone. It's just organic all-purpose fertilizer. I'm not super particular about brand. Just what I can get that's an organic fertilizer I think is good enough. This is slow releasing. So now I'm gonna to maybe try to tease these roots a little bit and plant in the hole. So it could be a little bit deeper. I just mix the fertilizer and the bone meal together. And then I'm going to plant them out. So that's the first one. Then I'm going to measure about 12 inches, like here. And I'm going to just lay them over so I know where they're going to go. I find this easier to do than just digging out the holes first. Just helps me a little bit to kind of have the spacing right. So 1 and 2, so like that. Maybe this can be a little farther. So I guess it'll be 3 per row here. This raised bed is about 4 feet wide, but since we're having this space on the side, that makes sense. Okay, and I'm just doing 3 of this one. I'm gonna put the poblanos right next, even though they're smaller, because they will get tall. They get their taller plant. And I'm gonna do 3 poblanos here also, just right where these other ones are, and then measure again. Actually, should be a bit farther. Here. Another one, and then I'll do jalapenos next. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Looking a little bit more evened out like that. I'll do 6 and I'll put the cherry peppers in the front. I really like jalapenos. We eat them the most and we love also preserving them. This I'll plant a bit closer. I think it's going to be okay. But going back, we like not only eating them fresh, but I also like to make candied jalapenos or pickle them for the winter. So I'm trying to grow a little bit more than I usually do this time. Oh, sorry, I said cherry peppers, but those are pimento peppers, which I honestly think is the same thing. But they look like little cherry peppers, these ones. And I'm gonna put these here in the front. So I already have some rosemary growing here. I'm gonna do, I think it's just 2 of the pimento peppers. Actually, I'll do 2. Okay. And I'm now gonna go around and do the exact same thing I did this. I'm gonna dig the holes, add the fertilizer, and plant the peppers. Okay, so peppers are done. They're all planted here. Now I'm going to just add some marigolds for pest control. So I want to stretch this that I have all the way into my eggplant bed. So I'm not going to plant too many of them here, but I want to plant one, at least of this yellow one here, right in front. This is the orange one. Maybe just do a yellow and an orange right next to the oregano here. Yellow. Let me just do 3 of these guys right here in the front. They will kind of be under the peppers once the peppers grow, so I think it's okay to have them that close. And for these guys, I'm not really gonna put the bone meal. I'll put a little bit of the fertilizer, but I don't think they need as much as the peppers. So just gonna dig it really quick here. Maybe a little bit of fertilizer. These are dwarf marigolds. They're the French ones, and they're supposed to be better pest control than the bigger ones, which I also have, but I want to plant a variety, so I'm gonna try to do a bunch of different ones to see how that's going to work out for us this year. Here, the yellow one, orange, and another orange here on this side. I'm gonna add the cages all at the end because I'm gonna add some of the tomatoes too. So I'm gonna move on for the tomatoes, and after I'll stake everything all together. Alright, let's do tomatoes next. But before, let me show you guys something really pretty here. I want to show you guys the stock that's growing, just the progress. If you watched my last garden tour, you saw them just opening, but now they're getting a little bigger. And they're getting very fragrant. They are not as big as mine last year, but this one's looking really good. And this is a double, and I have some stingers in here, and they smell great. I've seen some bees on them in here, so I'm not going to really harvest them right now. Maybe just one later. And that guy is also opening, and that's supposed to be the branching one. So this is looking really good. I have to take some time to eat, but I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of beauty before I go back to planting my tomato seedlings. Okay, so I'm gonna plant half of the tomatoes in here, half of the tomatoes back there. Let me go over with you the varieties that I have here. I have a Cherokee Purple. I'm already gonna put them in there to give you an idea what I'm planting. Another Cherokee Purple. I'll plant them right next to each other, I guess. There's a bean. You see that? Volunteered in there from last year. I'm gonna give you more space to my tomatoes this time. I used to plant also 3 like the peppers, and I'm just gonna be a little more on the cautious side. This is an orange jazz. I think there's another. So I have 2 orange jazz. Another orange jazz. This is a striped German. And another striped German. Alright, that's 6 already. So let's do 6 in here. And I'll just put the 6 in the other bed. I planted the Amish pasty in the back here in the past. And I don't know if I want to do that again, because I think the water kind of comes this way, and then I was getting some blossom and rot on those guys. They're more prone to blossom and rot. So I'll do the Amish paste, I guess, in the front. Let's do that. I'll put them very close to that. Oh, you know what? I have this trellis thing here. Let's do here. Boom. Problem solved. 2 Amish paste there. We're gonna do this Pascal de Picardie, one here and one here. Now look, this might be a dahlia coming back from last year. That might grow in between these guys. I don't know. Is it? I think it's a dahlia. It could be also a pokeweed. Let me see if I can see the tuber. If it is a dahlia, oh, I think it is. It's from one that I forgot to dig up last year. Oh yeah, definitely a dahlia. All right, and she's coming back. I'm gonna let her be. So I'm gonna plant this a little bit farther apart so we can have a dahlia in the middle. And let's see how that's going to turn out. Maybe I'll put this back here, so I can maybe also use this as a trellis. I always keep changing my trellising situation with the tomatoes, and we'll see how it goes. And those two are gonna be persuasion, kind of here in the middle. And then I'm gonna do this Sergeant Pepper here. And you know what? I had an extra Cherokee Purple. I'm gonna plant it because it's my favorite tomato. Just wanna grab it real quick. I'm gonna do this extra Cherokee Purple right here. Alright, I think that's gonna be great. There's a little bit more in this guy here. There's another being volunteering. You guys, so many things popping up. It's right here. I don't know if I'm gonna let them leave, this one leave, because I'm gonna do a very hard thing and take it out, because I really wanted this MS paste tomato to kind of grow here if I can. Actually, I'm gonna put it right here. Changing out the mind, this here, because then that can just go there, and I could try to train here or up, and then this MS paste can go, yeah, right there is fine. Not as nice as that one there because this dahlia, but you know, we'll make it work. So now we're gonna mend the same way that I did the peppers. So I'm going to first add the bone meal, add the fertilizer, then add the tomatoes. But tomatoes like to be planted a little deeper, so I'm gonna remove the bottom leaves and plant them around here if I can. So I'm going to dig a deeper hole for those than I did for the peppers. Okay, so I'll start here again, and I'll show you guys how deep I'm gonna make this hole. So I'm gonna try to be deeper than the pepper, and I like to use the tomato to kind of gauge how much I still need to dig. And for the tomatoes especially, I like to do the amendments because I plant them deep, kind of far from the top dressing compost that I put in here. So I think this is good. This is good. They're not root bound yet, and I'm gonna remove the bottom leaves. In my last year's video of planting tomatoes, or 2 years ago, someone told me that I should leave the stem and just take the leaves, but it's too much work. It's a great suggestion, but I'm okay with just planting like that. Oops, I almost forgot to put the amendments. So that's how deep it's going to be, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the bone meal and the organic fertilizer. Okay, mix up a little bit. Add the tomatoes, and then plant it. Get it all. It could go even deeper, but I think that's all right. What's my tag? That's my tag. Cherokee Purple. Okay. Very good. I could even remove one more leaf, but I think it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna repeat the process here. I have a lot of seedlings of, I don't even know what this is, weed. Clean this up first real quick. So let's do the same thing here. Just one more time, then I'll speed up the video again and plant all the rest of everything. But it's a little bit harder for me to dig here. I haven't had a hard time before, but with this tool it's a lot easier with this holy knife than my little shovel that I was using before. So they're not very expensive. I highly recommend to invest in one if you the multi-tool that's very versatile, and I've really learned to enjoy. This one I dig very deep. That's good. And now a little bit of bone meal. Bone meal helps with blossoms and setting fruit. And then the fertilizer, put a little bit more fertilizer in this, guys, because you know tomatoes are heavy feeders. So let's move it a little bit. Then again, remove from the little pot. I'm gonna put the tag on the side. I'm gonna remove these leaves. Maybe I'll leave this one. Let's see. I'll remove it too. And plant it. The reason why we do this is because the tomatoes can actually make roots through their stems. Let me put this here and show you one of this. So a lot of people say that these little hairs here is what forms the root, but that's not correct. Those hairs actually are for the plant's defense. I forgot exactly the name and I can't pronounce it, so I'm gonna put on the screen, but they will set roots from the stems still, but from some little nodules that they will set. So that I don't see any in here now, but once they're moist, they will be able to send roots out. Same thing when you take a cutting and you put in water and then it roots. So that's kind of the same process. And I'll just speed up the video real quick since I'm going to repeat exactly the same process over and over again. All right, so I'm done with the tomatoes, and we're gonna do some flowers around here as well, and basil. So I have this and that bed, so I'm gonna be right here in the middle like this, and just try to plant, scatter a few things around. Again, I'm trying to plant these flowers and herbs to help with pest control. Last year we had a lot of pests here. It was hard for me to keep up, and I garden organically. I don't really use anything. So I have some purple basil that I want to do one here in the middle on that side, and I'm gonna do another one right here in this corner next to this tomato here. Then I'm gonna do the marigolds. Those are the orange ones. I also have eggplant to plant, so I can't plant too many of them. I'm gonna do an orange marigold, maybe right here in the middle. She can go in the middle of the tomatoes. And another orange one here. And I'll do a yellow. I can have a dahlia here, so I can't put one there, but I'll do one yellow marigold here. And we'll see how that's gonna turn out. Again, I'm not really gonna put fertilizer for these guys. Herbs and flowers don't need as much unless they're cut flowers. So I'm just gonna plant this here in the corner quickly. Little basil. Where's my place? There it goes. So that's the dahlia there. Doing the other marigold here. I mean, I could put fertilizer, honestly. I did put some on the one. Maybe I will. I feel a little guilty now. I don't want them, sorry, I don't want them to not do okay. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit, just a little bit over. This one's gonna mix with the soil here. And the basil. Alright, 3 beds done. Super excited, and we still have the eggplant. So I'm going to do the eggplant on the next bed over there. I also interplanted basil and marigold. I'll do that all together in the next round. And I'll see what I have left over. If I even still have some of these guys, I might plant a couple more basils around this bed too. Alright, so the eggplants I'm going to do exactly like I did the peppers. And I just realized I have a couple more tomatoes here. Those are the Midnight Romas. I might plant them together here, we'll see, maybe in the back. The eggplant, I want to show you guys something because they got a little bit sunburned. So even though I acclimated all these guys at the same time, I think these leaves were bigger and I didn't take them back soon enough in the 3rd or 4th day, and the leaves got a little bit burned by the sun, but it's alright, they're gonna recover and do fine. But that's exactly what I was trying to avoid when I told you guys in the last video to acclimate them properly. But you know, things happen. Even though with our busy work schedule, sometimes it's hard to put things back before you go back to work, but I'm sure they're still going to perform just fine. So eggplants, I'm going to do maybe 3 per row, just like I did the peppers, and I'll go over the varieties before I speed up the video again. So I have here, this is a dark purple eggplant on this side. Also, I started the eggplants and the peppers seeds on the same day. I can link the video right over here so you guys can watch that too if you're curious to see me starting the seeds. And I also go over the varieties. But this is a dark purple eggplant seed that I got from Hawaii. It's a long Japanese eggplant. And then I have here some fairy tale eggplants. Those are the small ones with the stripes. I also have here Orient Charm, which is also Japanese eggplant, long but more on the light purple side. And I have a patio baby that actually, I started them together, but this is going to be in my backyard in containers. Some of the fairy tale eggplants too. So I also have nasturtiums and dill in this tray, and I forgot that I can interplant with things, which is good. I thought I just had bought the marigold and the basil, but it's good that I have these other herbs here too. So we're gonna maybe work out and scattering these plants around after I finish planting the eggplant also. So now just gonna do the same thing, dig the holes, put the fertilizer, put the bone meal, plant the eggplant, and at the end I'm gonna water everything. The eggplants are all planted. I noticed something when I was planting them. This one over here is a Black Beauty. So this is the only one that I had that actually made it. The other ones are the ones that I saved before, but it's together with this orange charm here. So I have one Black Beauty here. Those are the orange charm. And then I also added some flowers and basil. So there's a basil here, marigold there, basil there. And I have two more basils. So I'm gonna put one right here between the tomatoes. It looks like there's a good space. Maybe I'll do one here and one here, actually on the edges. And that, you know, I have birds in here that actually like to eat the top of my seedlings, especially basil, beans, or peas. So there's a chance that these guys might not make it. So I guess it's good that I overplant a bit. So 2 is fine. Put one here and the one right here, and see if they will make it. I have 2 more marigolds that I have to find space for, and I also have some nasturtium that I like to put here. I'm gonna think where I should put it. No, never mind. I'm having a hard time finding this space right now. I'll take this back with me and think about it later. The deal, maybe I'll plant together with the cucumbers. If I plant some cucumbers, I'm thinking to do cucumbers and squashes on those beds across over there. So I think that's good. So yeah, I'll take this back. Maybe I'll put it in the green stuff. I think that's good. I have 2 really big marigolds. Those are the orange, the giant ones that I grew 2 years ago, and they're so beautiful. I think I might actually grow them right there. So I'll just plant these marigolds in the back here. This bed I'm planning to do okra, which I have not started from seed yet. I need to do that. I want to start the okra, the squash, and the cucumber this week. I could direct seed them. They look great direct seeded, but I'm afraid that the birds also, or the rodents that come here, might eat them. So see, I might try to direct seed some and do a backup with some in pots. So I'll think about that this week and let you guys know what I decided to do. And I don't want to plant too much because okra is kind of prolific. So having 2 marigolds in here, I think will look nice. Add some more pop of color to the veggie garden. Okay, so I'm gonna use these tomato cages here. I'll do that before watering. Oops. I'm gonna try to use all that I have and see how many things I can actually cage. I'm actually going to start with the peppers because the tomatoes here, I'm gonna put some strings coming from there and here and try to trellis them that way. But the peppers and the eggplants will have priority with these tomato cages. I always have a hard time putting those on. There we go. And I think they're about a foot, so hopefully with the spacing that I have here, it's gonna be able to fit 3. I don't really like actually the look of these cages, to be honest with you, but I know those peppers are gonna fall if I don't do that, so I guess I'm gonna do it anyway. And these poblanos look so tiny, they look like they don't need it, but I'm gonna do it anyway already, just with the spacing, because they will get tall. Those tomato cages are usually too small for tomatoes anyway, for indeterminate tomatoes, the one that I grow. Actually, this guy might have to come a little bit farther here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough. Okay, so this is I have a few more there, but I want to cage the eggplants too. So I guess maybe I'll do an experiment. I'm gonna put this in here. Maybe that one can be supported by the ones in the edges. And I might just, those are the cherry peppers. I might just see how big they'll get. I can put some stakes in here after. Doesn't look the best, but they do work, and these guys hopefully will fill this up fast. Now let me get the remaining ones to put in the eggplants over there. backyard, I'll look, but I'll put the ones that I have here. You know, I'm gonna do two, and then maybe these guys can kind of get supported on the side. They won't fall over because this is on the edges. See if that works. So these two over here. And I like to put this now. I know I could wait because the roots are still not too big. I just planted this, and then I'm not damaging enough the roots putting this in. If I wait until they get older, they might get a little hurt by it, so just easier to just get it done right away as soon as you plant. These ones are red. Silly, but that's what I have. And that's it. I'll check if I have more, but that's what I have for now. Okay. Now I'm just gonna get my watering can, water this well, and we'll be good. So I'm actually going to water with a watering can because the water here in the plot's still not on. I actually carried this water from my apartment, and I have a bucket with some more water that I'm going to refill and try to water as much as I can. But if I don't have enough, I'm going to go back and grab some more. But just let you guys know, that's very important to do a good watering after it's planted. And if I had a hose, of course I'd be using that because that would be much easier. So it's going to be a little harder for me. Oh no, it's not too bad. I thought it would be a little harder to water with the cages, but it's alright. And we're getting rain tomorrow, as I said, which is great, so that will also help keeping these guys nice and hydrated. And I hope that we can get the water turned on here soon, so it'll be much easier for me to take care of this space. The things I do for the love of gardening, here's what the bucket that I have with water, and I always have a hard time kind of pouring it down because it's too heavy for me. I lose a little bit, but I actually try to do it for higher so it's easier for me to carry. But these are what I've been doing to water the plot. So grateful that we're gonna have a lot of rain next week, and that's why I also wanted to get this planted so I don't have to water them so much in the beginning, which usually require a lot of watering. The rain is definitely going to help. The tomatoes next. Now I mixed up this soil so much you cannot even see much of the compost that I put here. If I can get more free compost from the city, I will amend this even a little further, but I really hope that these tomatoes do well this year. You can see here too that when I'm watering, the water is kind of puddling or just kind of going very fast. That's not great. The soil here is a little hydrophobic. It's a lot of clay, and I'd love to add some more organic matter to help with the watering too. So I'm also going to try to add some mulch to these beds. I'm trying to look for affordable ways to do it because the space is very big and it's a little too much for me to buy it, but I'm gonna try to see what I can find to try to, you know, have this soil a little healthier this year. Thank you so much for watching today. If you're curious to see how I amended this before planting, I'm going to link a video right here that you can watch next. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.